Assalamu alaikum. It's very nice to have you here. It's very nice to see new faces. We didn't see them last year. It's always nice to see you. Al-Nasr, as well as the awards, is an initiative that's run by the community. I said this last year and repeat it this year. The Algerian Paper of the Year awards, what we do as a committee, we just facilitate. We are just the secretaries. We receive things, we file them, we send them to the community. It's the community who run it, it's the community who decide who the winners are, and it's the community who eventually come to celebrate it and give the awards. So I'll tell you a little bit about the award. Before, I was initially told I have 10 minutes. But before the break, I was told I've got only 5 minutes. So we'll try to be as quick as possible. But something that we've never said about the awards, even over the last 2 years, is how it actually started. We actually wanted to do something for Algerian scientists that are actually in Algeria, not in here. The ones who are across all the university and research centers in Algeria. Initially, we were thinking about putting an award, an annual award, for the best scientists. But we thought probably that doesn't really talk to the community of the Algerian scientists. So we wanted it to be mainly for the Algerian students, those students who spent 7 years doing a PhD, the students who spent 5 years doing a master's in Algeria. We really want to recognize their work, to acknowledge them, and to thank them for some quality of the work that they are doing. And we thought the best way to do that is actually to look at the publications that come from Algeria, because usually publication comes out as a product of a group or a team of people. It may include the professor, probably always includes the professor, the person who leads the project, but you also have some master students, you have some PhD students, and we want to complement and to actually celebrate and thank the whole team. So we thought rather than giving an individual award to a scientist, we give it to the paper that has the biggest impact or the best paper. And we came up with the name in 2013 around September time, جائزة أحسن منشورة علمية جزائرية, or the Algerian Paper of the Year Awards. So what's the award about? The whole purpose of the award, first of all, is an annual award. We run it every year, once a year. And the aim of it is to recognize, celebrate, and celebrate the achievements of the Algerian scientists. And here, Algeria is important, and I will tell you the reason why in a bit. And we decided to look at the papers, or accept the papers in 5 different categories: biological sciences, chemical sciences, computer science and engineering, medicine, pharmacy, and veterinary sciences, as well as physical science and maths. And I'll tell you the reason why we stuck to these. The award itself, in order to be considered for the award, all the papers that come to the award, they have to be nominated. We don't actually, as a committee, go and select any papers. So the scientific community in Algeria, they have to nominate the papers that they think that are deserving or worthy to be considered for this particular award. So once we receive the nominated award, the nominated papers, then we go through 2 different stages. The first one is a shortlisting stage, and then there is a peer reviewing stage. And I have to say, for us, we are actually not involved with this. Mainly, we just manage the whole process. This year, the 2015, is the 3rd edition of the award. We ran it the first time in 2013, second time in 2014, and both editions, they were quite successful. And today we'll be announcing the winners of this year's award, which is the 2015. Before we get into that, I'll give you some numbers about the papers of 2015. Actually, before that, these are not the numbers, they're the people who are running the awards. So last year, I was involved in it. That's me on the top of there. There's Oussama involved. And every year, we try to invite people to come and join us. This year, we are very grateful to Mustafawi, who's a UCL, to join us for the awards committee, as well as the very talented Abdurrahman Zoghbi, who's in Michigan. I hope he's watching us right now, because both of them, Ghaitha and Abdurrahman, they actually add another dimension to the award. You know, regardless of how talented we think we are, me and Oussama are very one-dimensional. So adding these people to it, they just expanded the award, made us look at different things. And as well as these, there's a 5th person, Dr. Abdel Malik Bashir from the University of Biskra. But given it's Biskra, and we are in May, and it's 3:30, I'm sure he's asleep right now, because the temperatures are over 40 degrees, okay? So I didn't mind not putting his picture in here, okay? But if he's watching, we actually appreciate his help for this and what he's done. Let's look at some numbers, or before the numbers. So the process, the first thing that we'll do, we always open the nominations in January. So in 2015 awards, we consider all the publications that were published in 2014. 1st of January 2014 all the way to 31st of December. We consider those papers. The criteria is there, you'll find it online on Al-Nasr. This year we added 1 more criteria, and that's for all the papers nominated, you could only nominate 1 paper per research group. In 2013, 2014 editions, this was not the case. So sometimes you get a very big lab in Algeria sending you 7 or 8 papers. And the reason why we've done it, we limited to 1, that will make it life easier for us, because they will do the self-selection. Out of their 7 or 8 papers, they will select which one they think is the best paper to send in, and that will make it easier for us. So after the nominations, we go for shortlisting, and then we go for reviewing, and finally we'll make the announcement. I have to say, in the 2013 and the 2014 editions, the shortlisting and the reviewing went extremely well. This year, for chemical sciences, biological sciences, and computer science, and physical science and math, we have to combine the shortlisting and reviewing. But we still achieved what we want, because every single paper that was nominated for the award was seen by a minimum of 3 different researchers. Okay, and that's what we want to see. If you go for a peer reviewing process in any association, even in the UK in science, for example, as long as it's seen by 3 different people independent, that's fine. So we achieved that for the awards this year as well. How do the nominations? So this year we got 331 papers. They were nominated for the awards. 67 biological sciences, 66 in chemical sciences, computer science and engineering 81, medicine, pharmacy, veterinary sciences 40, and 77 papers in physical science and mathematics. And this is quite nice, because in 2013, 2014 editions, we had hardly any papers in biological science and medicine. So this year the spread across the 5 disciplines was really good. How does this compare to the number of nominations in 2013, 14, and 15? So out of the 331 papers that were nominated, me and Oussama went through the papers, as well as Ghaitha and Abdurrahman. And we actually 20 papers that did not fit the criteria, so we cannot take them. For example, we had some people from Palestine sending their papers to be considered for the Algerian Paper of the Year awards. We have some people who are sending papers. Sorry? An exception for Palestine. We have to be professionals. We think with our brain, not with our heart. So we have to go with the criteria to be fair to everyone. So yeah, that's what I'm coming to. So one of the reasons, though, some papers, they're not actually from Algerian scientists, but also we've got a lot of papers where there's 10 or 8 authors, only one of them is Algerian. The rest are from France or from the UK or the United States or somewhere in the Middle East. We don't accept that. So we need to have at least 50% of the authors that are on the paper to be based in Algeria. So their corresponding address has to be in Algeria. So out of the 331 papers, how does it compare to the last year? If you look at 2013, we had 160 papers. 2014, we had 253. 2015, we have 311. And you could see between the first year and second year, we had 37% increase. Between 2014 to 2015, we had 19% increase. But you need to note that in here, we're only accepting 1 paper per group. My feeling, if we actually got some emails sent to us of a groups trying to nominate 6 or 7 papers, and we rejected those, said only nominate 1. So really, if you try to compare it to 2013, 2014, the increase is much higher. The overall increase is around 49% going from 2013 to 2015. For us, as Al-Nasr.org, we're happy with this, because we don't really want to, obviously want to grow, but we don't want to start walking before we start running before we start walking. So what we want to do in here, this percentage of increase, we're happy with it. We want to grow it organically. We want to be very stable and grow it step by step, but be sure whatever step we go and expand, we are happy with the previous steps. If you look at the papers nominated per the 5 disciplines across the 2013, 14, and 15, you could see the biggest increase was mainly in the 2 that classically did not get a lot of publications in, and that's chemical science and biological sciences. The rest is pretty much the same. What I really like about it from an organizational point of view is the spread for 2015. These greenish bars is pretty much even across the 5 disciplines. One note before I finish, and I'm sure this comes up every year, is if you look at the disciplines, the 5 that we have in here, there's a lot of Algerian scientists who are not, or researchers or academics, they're not happy with us because we're not including economics, we're not including social sciences, we're excluding a number of things, they're not in here. And as I said last year, and repeat this year, it's not because we don't want to do it. We made an open call, we approached a number of people, we wanted them to come and join the awards committee so they could run this particular process, because it's quite an extensive process. If you look at the people who are on the committee, most of them, they're physics, biology, medicine, computer science, So we invited a number of people from social science and economics to come and join us. There was some interest, but there was not concrete interest. And from our point of view, we need someone who's committed and who's willing to help. We'll help them along the way, but it is a commitment throughout the course of the awards. Because we cannot really risk someone getting involved for 1 week and they say they're not busy, they cannot do it. And I say it again, this is an open call again. If anyone is interested to come and join us, and next year for the 2016, I'll tell you more about later, want to add social sciences or something like that to here, just get in touch with us and we'll be happy to include you in the team. And I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Youcef. Sorry for keeping on cutting everyone's time. I'm going to come up as a really mean guy by the end of this event. So we're going to get right to it. We're going to start announcing the winners of the 2015 Algerian Paper of the Year Awards. The awards, the winners will receive 3 things. They will receive, well, actually, they will receive 4 things. 2 of them material, 2 of them are not. I'm going to tell you about them in a second. Now, these awards here, these glass plaques, just a symbolic trophy to celebrate their achievements. Every single author also receives a certificate of winning. This year we've added also, to the request of our colleagues back home, that the honorable mentions, the people who've made it to the first stage, will also receive certificates as having done so. The other 2 non-material things, well, one of them is that obviously they've been through a selection process. They have the تزكية المجتمع الأكاديمي, which is, I think, in itself the key thing here, is that the community acknowledges and celebrates their achievement. And we'll also be conducting interviews with them for the sake of extending the dissemination of what they've done.